What's going on, guys? Trigon here. This past last week, I picked up 2016 Yamaha R1. I was wanted to add a super sport to my motorcycle trio. Haven't owned one or ridden one in about 2.5 years. Been mulling it over for a while. Was going to go down between the Aprilia RS V4, but it's too small for a guy my size. I'm 6'1". It's pretty cramped. Or the new Honda Fireblade I was looking at, the CBR 1000RR. But the R1 is just simply gorgeous. I got to ride my cousin's R1. Instantly fell in love. After that, 2 weeks later, I got this one. I already did the fender eliminator kit with the integrated tail light. Looks really, really sweet. Got the ram mount set up. It's pretty good. Has 11 different programmable flashes. It's the Blaster X by Custom LED, and this is just a basic eBay fender eliminator. I really like the angle of the plate here. A lot of the other ones go down here, but I like this look better. Gotta get a light for it, but other than that, yeah, I'm looking at either the getting the Two Brothers exhaust. I love how it tucks down low here. I see a lot of the other ones, when you get rid of all this, it's all kind of weird down there. And the Two Brothers sound really, really sweet. It's not a bad price either. Yeah, also might be looking at, my buddy has a Austin Racing set up. You know, probably check that out. Yeah, it's an awesome bike. I put 300 miles on it in 24 hours on the day that I got it, and the next day. But this bike is absolutely gorgeous. The colors, the pearl white, with the metallic red, the black, simply gorgeous. It's an amazing bike, plenty of power. And my other bike's a freaking 1290 Superduke. It's pretty comparable speed-wise, power. Yeah. This bike has so many fancy freaking gizmos and doohickeys on it. It's insane. But I'm gonna enjoy this beautiful Wednesday. Let's go. Unfortunately, this one's it doesn't have the quickshifter. It's the R1S. But I was looking at a Translogic has a nice setup for 500 with the quickshifter and the auto blip for downshift. For like, I'm probably gonna go that route, or I can get the OEM Yamaha part. It's only about 150. I looked online, and I wouldn't have to program anything. It's all plug and play. So I got two options there. Yeah, I'm really happy with this bike. Gearing wise, it Feels pretty similar to the Superduke. I can like ride it, and when I ride it, I can just ride it in all the gears just like my Superduke would, which is pretty awesome. Can't wait to get an exhaust for it. But it sounds pretty good with a stock muffler, I gotta say. Pretty impressed with this bike. Got my reverb running here. Alright. You're gonna go left? You better go left, buddy. Paint is amazing. I really, really love the paint on this. Oh, policia. Did he wave at me? I don't know. Looked like he might have waved. I hardly ever see a cop down this way. All right. Bike sounds so good with the stock. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with how it sounds. Gotta get used to the sifter though. The sifting on this bike. To me, the sifting on this bike is not as smooth as my KTM Superduke. The Superduke is like super brotherly smooth. And I've noticed on both the R1s I've ridden and the FC10 I've ridden, they both feel they don't feel smooth at all. Like when you go and push through the gears, it it almost feels like it's broken or something. It feels so stiff and mechanically. But I guess that's normal. What are you doing, Chuck? What are you doing? You going into the driveway? Road work ahead. Thing I hate about the ram mount, my phone's always like moving itself. Gotta find the perfect balance. I forgot what it was like to ride in this position. I've been on a super naked or standard style motorcycles for a while. Also got my Supermoto. It's my little commuting bike. This would be better. Alright. Oh, I hate when people throw glass clippings in the road. Why, people? A hazard. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day today. It's in the mid-70s. Seat's actually not too bad for a stock seat. I'm looking at getting the Saddleman seat. Pretty affordable too. It's not bad for like $200 for the base model one. Looks pretty good. Looks like factory. So after riding this bike for a weeks or so now, my only complaint was, I guess, you do get a slight, my right hand wrist kind of gets agitated, but it's not unbearable. Gotta get used to using my, squeezing the tank again. Yeah, man, it's good to be back. As for insurance prices is one reason why I settled on a 16 versus a 17 model. More grass, damn it. But yeah, this freaking Allstate for insurance for my Superduke, it's $400 for the whole year, full coverage. And then the when I found out how much a 17 model was, a 17 model was going to be $1,500 a year for insurance, and the Superduke's $400. So then I had the lady, for the hell of it, have her do the 16 model. 16 model was it's only $800 a whole year, so that's not bad. It's kind of insane that we're like, insurance itself costs more than the payments for that year for a motorcycle. That's insane. No way I want to spend enough money insurance to cover for the bike payments for a whole year. That's just insane. I don't know how some of these other guys, and then when I tell people how much I pay, they're like, damn, that's cheap. Like, wow, I'm this used to paying for the Superduke. It's even cheaper. It's like $400 for the whole year. So yeah, I was gonna wait for the 2018 model, but damn, I can only imagine what a 2018 would go for. Probably $1,700, $1,800 a year. Pretty satisfied with this. This bike's awesome. Plenty of power. Like, the difference between this one and the R1, the regular base R1, is it has it doesn't have the titanium connecting rods or the magnesium wheels, which I really can't tell the difference between riding my friend's bike and this bike. And I still have the stock cat on this. So once I get that off, the bike's gonna handle and be so flickable. It's already flickable the way it is. So definitely quite happy with this machine here. And I accidentally went the wrong direction. Gonna have to turn around. Let's see, any no U-turns. Can I do a U-turn? I don't see no U-turn sign. No right-hand sign, but damn, transmission's so clunky. Oh, I can't wait for an exhaust. This bike is going to be an absolute beast. Oh, man. This bike comes with the Bridgestone S20s. Hopefully they'll last a decent amount of miles. I had the S21s on my Superduke. They were pretty decent. I wish they lasted longer. I only got 3,500 miles out of them. But that bike's a torque monster. Its tires up like nothing. Now I got some Messler's Race Tech 7RRs on it. Would love to get at least 5,000 out of a set of tires, but hey, that's the price we pay for our love of motorcycles. And I love the display setup on this bike. It's insane. So is the brake pressure, sense how much force you're pushing on the brakes right there. G-force, negative and positive G-force. It has so many freaking... Also has a launch control, which I have not dared mess with. Probably I'll really like mess around with those settings and ride the bike harder once I get the first service done, which is only 300 more miles. Oh, sounds so sweet. Yeah, definitely loving this bike. The last super sports I've owned, one before this, was a 2008 GSXR 750, which was absolutely another wonderful bike. It has the perfect handling and power. I sold that one to my friend. He was looking for a bike at the time, and I already had a Superduke, and it was... I didn't use it as much, so I believe he still owns it. And then the one before that, I had a 06 GSXR 750. So it's nice to actually own a different... I never had any other super sports than a Suzuki's. Well, it's one excellent motorcycle. If you can ever test ride one, I highly recommend you ride one. You'll be quite satisfied with it. But at least I roughly got a good, decent amount of riding left this season. Got about, what, 2.5, maybe 3 months, so I'm gonna try to enjoy this bike, and it's gonna be fun trying to split time with my Superduke. But yeah, it's definitely the perfect day to ride. Love that turn. Another thing, I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw that here that the R1S has a different transmission ratio compared to the regular R1. I don't know if that's true or not. Doesn't seem like it's much different from my friends. But Yeah, I suppose I hear this bike tops out at 171. Thank you. All right. But I'm not one of those guys who try to top out their motorcycles on highways and shit. No way. Racetrack. I would love to do a track day with this bike or my Superduke. Never done a track day before. Either bike would be a blast. Man, though, once this bike hits 7,000 RPM, like, I'm used to my Superduke, like, it has power pretty much everywhere. But when this bike gets, when it gets into its power zone, it goes. You gotta hang on. It just has a nice surge of power. And supposedly, I hear this bike has the unified braking. So when I step on the front brake, the rear brakes automatically get applied, but I really can't tell. I think it works. It stops pretty quick when I apply the brakes. Yeah. Just enjoying some of these back roads here in eastern Connecticut. Yeah, it's roughly 12. I left at 12:30. Take advantage of this day. Yeah, I definitely think the rear brakes are being applied. Oh, I really think this thing can actually rival my Superduke in, like, from a 0 to 100, and actually might be able to give it a challenge. I hope little mail truck, no. Get that little truck out the way. But see, that's kind of weird though. Like if I get used to using just the front brake, it's gonna make it so weird if when I go and ride my Superduke or my Supermoto and forget I'm gonna be used to only using the front brake. It's a nice little feature. Rocket ship. Like I said though, the transmission feels so tight and weird when you sift through the gears on this thing. I'm so used to like my Supermoto, the Yamaha, the W250. That one's pretty smooth, and the Superduke is super smooth. It's like, which I hear a lot of. I keep hearing people say that KTM's are kind of sifting gears and those things. They're kind of shitty, but the Superduke 1290, it's probably one of the best that I've. And it's definitely the best sifting bike that I've owned. I think I've actually heard the 2017 Superduke's even smoother. Of course, that one has the you can get the up quickshifter, and you can get the auto blipper for down. definitely helps with this bike to downshift your gears before you come to the stop. So like I said, the transmissions, it can be even trickier when it's at a stop to like put it into neutral. Oh, would you look at that? I got away from, looks like a Harley rider. But yeah, I'm using B mode right now. I haven't used A. I hear A's twitchy as hell. I'm using power 1, traction control 2, and slide control 1. It allows a little bit of lift. Once I get it broken in, I'll try and find a nice good setting for it. But yeah, I definitely want to get a flash for it too, especially if I get the exhaust. But man, one thing I gotta say, when I saw the trunk space on this thing, I was like, what the hell? There's barely enough room in there to fit my registration. But I suppose I was reading the manual. It says there's storage inside here, right under here. There's a spot to put stuff, but in order to get it off, you gotta unscrew it. I believe you gotta unscrew that panel and open it up. It's like, seriously? I gotta do all that work just to get to my papers? So definitely, if you're gonna get one of these bikes and you plan on doing some commuting, and make sure you have a backpack, because there's no room for anything. You could probably fit a bag of M&Ms back there. That's about it. Although they'll probably get melted by the time you freaking get home. But another thing I want to look at, I want to get some side tank pads for it so I can grip it better. But surprisingly, it's pretty, I haven't had any issues with slide. I can actually grip it pretty well with a pair of jeans. The Tank X, the bike just hugs you. It's very, very comfortable. No complaints. Of course, this is like some pretty decent turns here. And of course, every time I come here, there's always a car. But I'm gonna let that truck get a lead on me. Here, nobody behind me. Let's give it a rev here. Ooh, sounds good. I made the right choice. I made the good decision to go with the Yamaha. I was almost having some buyer's remorse. Like, if I buy this thing and like I'm not able to like ride it for more than an hour, I would have been like, what the hell? But luckily, that's not the case. Because I've heard nothing but horror stories on how these bikes, the new Yamahas, are like MotoGP bikes just with street lights, and like people say, oh, I can't ride it for more than an hour. Once you hit an hour, you're done. Not me. Dude, stay in your lane. Freaking drivers. Oh, fuck. Go, truck, go. Seriously, call up that little freaking pickup truck? Alright. Yeah. Whew, that's a fun bike. That's the problem when you go, once you get a Superduke, it's like the next bike, if you get another bike, or if you get rid of that bike, you're gonna need a bike to meet the needs that the Superduke had, all the power and the quality. And this bike hits all my marks. I'm definitely impressed by this motorcycle. The mirrors are actually functional. I can actually look at that mirror. Let's go going like this. I can go like that to look at that one. And if you notice, they don't really shake. They're pretty good at speed. It doesn't get like blurry or like vibrations. They're actually one of the best factory mirrors I've used. Actually, the front mirrors on this bike, actually, when you look at it from the front, they actually suit this bike very, very well. Yamaha did a good job. I don't think I'm going to put some bar-in mirrors on it or nothing, and I'm going to keep these ones. I got the blinkers in them. It looks really, really good, clean. The headlights are fantastic. Nighttime, no problem seeing at night. But another, I had a Yamaha FC8 before. I actually had it retrofitted with a hood and everything, like professionally done. It looks just as good as that, if not better. Well, this setup has the LED. Mine's had didn't have the LED set up on the FC8. I'm definitely looking to enjoy the rest of this riding season. Oh, slow down. Tree work ahead. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of tree cutting in my area. Guess we're trying to get ready for this winter. Thank you, good sir. Yeah, there's some pretty good. I found this route from a good friend of mine. I was like, man, this whole time this route was in my area, and I never knew. So it's like one of my go-to routes for doing some rides. Also found a new route over there in the hop yard. I met this random guy this past Saturday. He was like, "You got some around here?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Let me show you some routes." It took us on a pretty nice, like a 19-mile loop over there by the hop yard. So I gotta added that to my list. I use the Run the Reaver app here, so I can track and record all my routes. It's all free, by the way. I highly recommend it. You can download pre-made routes from other people and make your own. It's pretty awesome. You can't beat free. Yeah, definitely. If you're looking for a super sport, put the Yamaha, I'd say the 2015 up Yamaha R1 on your list, and you'll surely enjoy it. But gonna stop recording now, put on some music, and just enjoy the rest of my ride. I'll try to post some more videos when I get to do some riding with my friends. We do a lot of crazy rides together. Have some fun, but thanks for watching. See you guys next time.